Awesome, man. So you and Barnes have obviously worked together, in Cannibal Corpse this long, long, long millennia ago. What was it like joining back up with him for Nightmares of the Decomposed?
Oh, that was cool. It was like they would tour Europe like twice a year, and I just jumped on one of those and reconnected with them, and it was like, we never left Cannibal.
Yeah, so I guess Aleba, they were touring in Europe as 6 Feet Under, and were you with Cannibal at the time, or were you doing the Deicide stuff?
I think I was done with Deicide,
Okay.
and I contacted Chris. Well, I talked to Chris like over the years, regardless. So I was like, "Hey, dude, you need a guitar player?" He's like, "I'll get back to you." Yes, we do.
Uh, I guess then going into that, so 6 Feet Under is kind of, Barnes's baby, and there's always been, like a revolving door with respect to band members.
Mhm.
Um, how does that, work out with you?
I'm not sure. They've been revolving since the first album, so it's kind of like get the guys that can play and hit the road immediately. I think the other three guys we've got can play anything. We basically go on tour, and at the first show we run through the songs in the dressing room and then go play them. We don't rehearse.
Well, so I'm sorry. I guess I was talking about with respect to writing new music, the
Oh yeah.
creative aspect of it. How does that work with so much in and out? And then I guess what sort of feedback or involvement does Chris have during the musical writing process?
Oh yeah, for this one we bounced a lot off of each other. Like he wanted to know how the vocals should be performed, so I gave him a couple tips about how I would like to hear his vocals on this one. I said butchered at birth, all low, and he would just give me tips on like arrangement and riffs that are cool, riffs that suck, whatever. Yeah, I guess it's the same as like all the members coming in and out over the years. It's like if you can write, you're in.
Okay. Okay. So over the years, everybody's kind of left their hallmarks on the albums that they've been a part of, and I guess that's maybe why the stylistic, you know, nature of the band has changed so much throughout the years.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
the first
yeah.
couple are Alan West, and you hear
Hmm.
the obituary influence, and then Rob Arnold came in, and it's pretty tack. And the Steve Swanson era was a little continuation of Alan West, but uh, faster and thrashier.
Yeah. I mean, so I've listened to the new album a little bit, and the one thing that instantly popped in my head was the speed.
Yeah,
It's a lot different, I guess, it's completely different from the early 6 Feet Under that I grew up listening to. So
yeah.
yeah, okay. So I
Yes,
guess then
well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, we're just writing more like old Cannibal stuff.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but it sounds a little. Yeah, it's very very heavily influenced from
Mhm.
that. So I guess then, was there any change into how you guys went into this album compared to the last one?
No, it was pretty much all on me as far as writing music and just going back to my influences of like Creator and Dark Angel and
Hmm.
all the bands that I liked back then when I was writing for Cannibal, and they're still going, and we're still going. So it started out fast, and I kept going. I took a little break and wrote a couple uh, slow songs like Neanderthal and
Hmm.
Hostility
Hmm.
Against Mankind.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's like I used to write in Cannibal.
Was there anything that you were trying to accomplish on this album, or were you just having fun with it?
Just fun. It's like the Nightmares was I wasn't prepared to write. I didn't have the tools that I needed to write. Now I have like a drum program and a multi-track and everything. And
Okay. Okay.
once I got going, it was like it just all came out.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is kind of a touchy subject, but people seem to either love or hate Barnes. We're in the camp of love. We love Chris.
Mhm.
But I guess, why do you think that is? What do you think people get wrong about him as a person?
Oh, he's a big softy, and he's like a brother to me. But if you don't know him, then he seems pretty standoffish. So I think it's contagious to jump on somebody like that online.
See, I think it's weird because he's always seemed like a softie, regardless of
Hmm.
the hair and what comes out of the mouth. When you hear him speak in some of the, I remember, I think it was the Bringer of Blood. There was what's it called, the DVD where there was, he just sat down, was just talking to the camera for a little bit, and I mean, the
Hmm.
second he opened up and just started chatting, yeah, that's how he came across to me. So I guess, yeah, it's just a little weird that he is so hated in the scene.
Yeah, I think it's trolls that are connected to each other, and it's like, well, you said that, I'm gonna say something worse. But he just did an interview with This Day in Metal, and I was like, yeah, that's Chris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like really mellow and soft spoken, but yeah, except on stage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we hear he's sober now.
Yeah.
Um, how has that affected the vocals on this album? And is it, I guess, a different Chris than, I guess a more wild Chris? Or was he ever
Um,
really wild when he wasn't
yeah,
sober?
wasn't really like wild, wild. Um, but yeah, I think it helped with the vocals definitely. Because I started writing lyrics on my demos, and I started putting a scratch vocal
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, "You want me to sing it like that? Because I don't do any high screams or anything, just
Hmm.
all low." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, dude, do it like all low and garbled." And he was like, "All right, I might lose a word here and there." And I was like, "Who cares?"
Yeah. uh,
But yeah, oh, as far as being sober, I think it definitely helps.
okay, awesome, awesome.
Lung power.
Yeah, lung power. We wish him the best with that, man. Um, So when you were writing the album, what's more important to you? Is it writing heavy riffs or heavy music, or are you trying to make it catchy?
I think of a live situation when I
Mhm.
write.
Okay.
I have a many formulas in which to write. Like I can write from an archive of riffs or off the top of my head, or just put on a drum beat and write to that. Or some things just pop into my head like in a dream or when I'm zoning out. Um, so yeah, I'm more in tune with songwriting than being heavy or fast.
Okay. 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 And I guess you said that. So in the middle of the night, when a riff comes to you, what do you get up and instantly record it, or do you just remember it the next morning? I've always drummer myself. It's a little different, I'm writing off of you guys. I'm keeping the beat, but the
Mhm.
creativity from the guitar side of it, like how does that work in the middle of the night? What do you do?
Yeah, if I have a melody, I just hum it into my phone.
Ah, okay, okay.
And then a song on the album, Accomplice to Evil Deeds, that came to me in a dream. The whole idea, the concept, but it was me and Corpse Grinder.
Uh-huh.
He was me and him were in a shed somewhere in the woods. He was killing people, and I was his accomplice. So I kind of had the lyrics and the chorus and everything. And then when I got up, I started writing that and the music and the drums, and that's one way.
Okay. So I guess so you're still dreaming about them. Do you still keep in contact with those guys? Do you?
Yeah, they come to. I'm near Rockford, Illinois, so they come
Oh,
around
okay.
there. Go hang out with them. Last time it was I didn't see Corpse or Rob, but I hung out with Paul and Alex and Eric Buchan.
Okay. Okay. So I guess getting into your Cannibal history, I mean, you were a founding member with them. You stayed with them for an amazing run of CDs. How do you look back on those albums and your time with the band?
Oh, very fondly, because there's some things I have a hard time listening to,
Can we get an
production
example?
wise,
Can we get an
maybe.
example of maybe something that you didn't like production wise?
Butchered at Birth is really abrasive to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of clarity missing to the production. And we were overwriting then. It's like some of the songs have like 8 or 10 riffs, but I can pretty much listen to everything. It's just a variation of like Eating Back to Life is thrash, and then Tomb, we were just total death metal. Bleeding was more of a songwriting evolution, and then after that, it was like the train kept rolling. And as far as writing songs and being more technical and kind of trying to balance that through Gallery of Suicide and up to Bloodthirst.
Okay. And then I guess, you just went through the gamut, but what one of those albums was your favorite one to work on? Or I guess your favorite one to go back and listen to?
Oh, definitely the bleeding.
Okay. Okay.
Because the whole writing process, I'm sure you've read that it was in a haunted house. It was a band rehearsal space, but it was like a haunted mansion and all the rooms were separated and secure. But yeah, it was a ghostly place. They never cleaned it up, full of cobwebs. So we wrote in there like the whole winter and there was barely any heat. So, I can fondly remember writing Stripped, Draped, and Strangled and freezing our ass off. Like we were wearing fingerless gloves and stuff like that. So it was Buffalo, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so since you've, started with Cannibal, begun a musician, how do you feel death metal has changed? I mean, do you think we're in a good place now, or is there some stuff that you'd like to see, happen differently?
Man, there's in the early 90s, it was like there's too many bands, but not really. When you look back at it, it's
Hmm.
like more bands the better, especially now with online. Everybody has an outlet like a Bandcamp or
Hmm.
YouTube, and even if you write in your one man project, you can just put it all out for everybody to hear. And I like stuff like that. I like the bands that keep going. Creator keeps going, and Destruction and Sodom, and newer bands like Chris told me about Brat, and then I listened to that. It's killer. Um, Antichrist Siege Machine. There's a million bands that keep going, and older bands that put out killer albums. The Invictus is cool, but I don't think it's changed a lot. I mean, I think we've reached the peak of heaviness and speed over the years. So now it's like kind of production values
Hmm.
and a presentation of like a killer vinyl with artwork and all that, and obviously killer songs, memorable shit.
So I guess you just brought up something that I wanted to talk about next is album art, cover art.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I noticed who did it the second I saw it,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah. So getting Vincent on board again. I mean, how did that work out? Was it just did you just ask him and he just did it,
yeah,
or
pretty much, yeah.
oh okay, you're just
We had an artist that was gonna do it, and then Chris reached out to Vince, and he was like, "Sure." I think he just had cataract surgery, so maybe we got fresh eyes on this one. But yeah, you sent typical, with Cannibal or whatever. Send him some song titles. He'll send some sketches, and
Mhm.
boom, that one with the heads in the shed, perfect.
So what song do you think that is encompassing?
Oh, that's Accomplice.
Okay, okay. And then I guess over the years, then was it the same whenever you'd work with Vince? You guys you'd send him some music, and then that was the general process of how he would do the cover art.
Yep, I don't think even music, just like song titles, maybe a couple lyrics.
Okay, okay.
It's hard to encompass this whole album. It's a little different from song to song, but
Yeah, yeah.
we figured Accomplice was a good one to do an art for.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one last question for you, sir. Is there anything that's came out this year that you've been really enjoying, really been jamming, can't put down, record
Hmm.
wise?
I'm still on 2023. I never put my
Oh,
list out, but that
okay.
Sada's album was killer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was my top one of 2023. It's just so heavy, fast, memorable. There's good shit like Autopsy and the Immortal album, Cryptopsy, Hellwitch. Hellwitch put out an album I don't think anybody even knew. It was killer. And 2024, man, I'm waiting for that. The band from the Faroe Islands that Metal Blade's putting out. Hamford, I think they're called. I don't
Oh,
even know
okay, okay.
I can't pronounce their name or any song titles or the album title, but the music is killer.
Yeah. Do you know where they're from?
The Faroe
Oh, the
Islands.
Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands.
Yeah.
You said that. You said that.
The other song titles and lyrics are in Faroese.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm like, please send a translation.
Yeah, I mean, so I've kind of been down that road. I've been listening to a lot of German and French metal, and
Yeah,
I can't understand a damn thing they're saying, but
yeah,
it's amazing. I can't. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, with Hanford, it's like you find out where they're from, and then you get out the Wikipedia page for the Faroe Islands, and you're like, holy shit.
yeah, yeah,
It's like way north of Scotland. It never gets above like 50 degrees. It's all rocks and mountains.
yeah. A beautiful place to write metal, correct?
Yeah, their videos are obviously filmed there. They're
From there.
smoking.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So that's number one of 2024 so far.
Okay. Okay, Jack.
However you say it,
Yeah.
Hamford,
Comfort.
Hamford.
Yeah. All right, sir. I thank you so much for this, man. It's been a pleasure. Actually, quick question. Is there any chance that we can possibly see Cannibal Corpse and 6 Feet Under reuniting for a tour at some point?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. We're getting good feedback from Paul Mazurkowitz so far on the new material. So
mhm.
we're cool. They're cool. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know.
It'd just be a dream concert to see both of them there. Maybe even to bring Barnes out for a couple Cannibal
Yeah,
songs. I don't know if that's something that would be appropriate or not,
sure.
but
Conceptually, it sounds easy on paper. It's like
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
6 feet under set, and then there's an
There's,
overlap set, and then Cannibal
and then
plays.
the Cannibal. Yeah,
Easy. How easy is that?
yeah. But
Apparently not too easy.
yeah, and yeah, it's with we all bow to the people in the suits, so they make all the decisions.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Jack, thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure.
Well,
I wish you guys all the best of luck. I'd love to see you guys on tour if you make it to Atlanta soon.
heck yeah, masquerade as always.
Yeah, as always, you're familiar with it.
Yep.
The shithole.
Right. Probably gotten
uh,
worse, huh?
yeah, yeah. I mean, the underground isn't really. They just keep they'll open up new venues there, but they don't fix anything. So it's just, yeah. I mean, I've been there once where there was a jazz concert going on, there was an EDM concert, and then there was a metal concert. So they have like heaven, hell, and then
Oh,
the purgatory. There's like their three little areas now. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's sounds like greed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Take it easy and
Thank you so much,
stay
Jack. Thank you,
metal.
man. Yep, stay metal. Thank
Cool.
you.